This guy is a wrecking machine, and he's hungry.
All of you chumps are gonna bow. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Money.
You're listening to The Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB. If you'd like to contact Mr. Credit, visit mrcredit.org.
All right, welcome to The Real Estate Debate. This is where we debate the hottest topics in San Diego real estate and guaranteed to make you smarter than everyone else on a Super Bowl Sunday. Very special guest joining me today in the studio. Jason Stewart is here from jasonstewart.org and epicfighting.com. Jason, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I tell you what, you were a last-second fill-in. You really don't have any idea what we're talking about on the show today.
Zero topics for today.
I just want to say thank you, honestly, because I know it's tough. You know, you ran here at the last second. It's Super Bowl Sunday. We've got a really cool debate set up today. You've been on the debate before. Last time you were on, it was kind of the same situation. So I just want you to know you're not like my real estate debate booty call. I'm not trying to just call you at the last second when we need someone on the show. You're the man. I appreciate you. So tell me what's up with Epic Fighting. What's going on? When's the next fight? What's going on in 2015 Epic Fighting?
Well, we got some big plans for 2015. We're taking our time scheduling dates. We're going to schedule all of our dates around a very big event. It's kind of top secret right now. I don't want to give any clues.
Yes, please. Tell us.
But yeah, we're going to schedule one big event, and then we're going to schedule our other events around that. So we got some really excited stuff in the works. The episodes are still airing on TV. So
when can we catch those on TV?
Channel 4, 10 o'clock at night on Sundays. That's our most popular time slot, and we've been throwing it around on different channels at different times just to try to catch different audiences and create some new fans. But anytime you want to know what's going on with Epic Fighting, the Facebook is a good route, and also epicfighting.com.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for being here, man. That's Jason Stewart from the Stewart Estates team and Keller Williams down in Eastlake, also CEO of Epic Fighting and epicfighting.com. Contestant number one on our real estate debate today. Contestant number two, John Fleming, is here from Caldwell Banker West. John, how you doing, man?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, you're also down from the South Bay.
Yes.
And you used to play professional baseball.
I did.
For the Arizona Diamondbacks.
You look like a baseball player.
Yes, thank you.
What position did you play for the Diamondbacks?
I pitched for 5 years with them.
Pitched for 5 years with the Diamondbacks. Did you ever figure out what time it was there?
Yeah, you're talking about the daylight savings again.
It's always the same time. I'm the one who has trouble figuring out what time it is in Arizona because we switch it here, but you probably got used to it being the same time there.
I did.
How was that playing pro ball, man?
It was great. It was definitely an experience. You grew up really fast. You know, I got drafted out of high school, so it's almost like getting shipped off to the military in a way. You know, you're 18, you get shipped out there, and you fend for yourself. Playing with, stars, basically. I mean, they could be 18 or they could be 35. I played with Cy Young winner Mark Davis my first year. I was actually drafted to play for the team a year before they even had a big league team.
Wow.
So the expansion, I think, was 97. I was drafted in 96.
Who was the toughest hitter you ever pitched?
Believe it or not, do you remember Robert Fick? He played a few years with the Padres. I faced him in Single A in the Midwest League, and the guy just had my number. Every single time I faced him, he had my number.
Yeah, that happens sometimes in baseball. Hopefully that won't happen today on the Real Estate Debate. Thank you for being here, John. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Also in the studio today for the first time on the Real Estate Debate is Wendy Vandersteen from the Brennan Real Estate Group. Wendy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, but I can't top that.
You can't top that?
No way.
You weren't a pro athlete in your
no,
former life?
And I met John just earlier, and I didn't know that he was a pro athlete. He left that out of his introduction. So.
Yeah, well, now you know. How does that feel?
It's making me a little nervous here.
Is it? You're like, well, wow, this guy might be competitive.
Absolutely. He will definitely be competitive. I'm certain of that.
All right. Awesome. Well, it's great to have you here. Thanks for coming.
Great to be here.
Awesome. Also, Justin Brennan is in the house from the Brennan Real Estate Group as well. You've got a 50% chance, the group does, of winning today, Justin. How does that
That's
feel?
what I was saying earlier walking down the hallway. I'm like, I think our odds are okay.
Yeah.
We're doing okay. Wasn't planned, but...
If Jason hadn't shown up, then you really would have had the
I was
panel
bring
dominated.
another team member, and we could have 75% chance.
Exactly.
Now, you've got some really interesting stuff going on. Obviously, you have a partnership with Madison Hildebrand. Tell us about that. He was like one of the first really popular guys from $1 Million Listing, the hit TV show, real estate TV show. He quit the show recently, but you have some sort of partnership going on with him. What's up with that?
Yeah, it was something I've been trying to kind of put together for the last couple of years, and it just took time to put it all together. But we were college dorm mates, fraternity brothers at Pepperdine.
Okay.
And then obviously we both graduated. He went on to do marketing at Bravo for a few years. Obviously, I moved back home to San Diego, and then he got into real estate in 2005. And then, of course, Bravo came to him to start this whole show called $1 Million Listing LA. So he was actually one of the first cast members.
Right.
And then it's blown up into a franchise now from New York to Miami and all over the place. So I think Orange County and Aspen is next.
Interesting.
But yeah, so I reached out to him about a year ago trying to create an alliance exclusive for La Jolla. So that way we can list certain properties at certain price points as a co-listing to kind of synergize between LA, Beverly Hills, Wilshire, that whole fast-moving money down into kind of the slower-moving money of San Diego and La Jolla, and kind of raise the profile of properties, create a celebrity and a famous, setup for them, and get them sold. That's the whole idea behind it, yeah.
People from LA, and I know he's a Malibu guy, right?
Right, correct.
So a lot of people from LA, they think that San Diego's sleepy. They think that we're it's tired, everyone's surfing, and no one's working. Is that what he thinks too?
Well, what's funny is he's from San Diego. Most people don't know. He grew up in Rancho Bernardo and Leucadia. Obviously, his family's from the Scottsdale, Arizona area, but he lived here in San Diego for many, many years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Very interesting. All right. Well, it's time to get the competition started. We are going to go with rapid fire to start things off. Justin Brennan, you will be first. Tell us whether. You will be first. Today's rapid fire topic is things that will not happen in the San Diego real estate market in 2015.
Now you threw us a curveball on this one.
Yeah.
Things that won't happen this year. You will not see appreciation greater than 5%.
Okay.
And you will not see more sales this year than last year.
Okay. Wendy, things you will not see in the San Diego real estate market in 2015.
So piggybacking on the lower appreciation, I definitely agree on that. We're not seeing, not seeing more than, 8 or 9% for certain. But rents will not be going down.
Ooh, very.
Not be going down.
That's huge. That's very important. John Fleming.
I believe you won't see a lot of short sales.
Okay.
This year.
We'll not see a lot of short sales this year. Jason Stewart, things you will not see in 2015's real estate market.
I believe you will not see a huge increase in interest rates this year.
Okay. Not a huge increase in interest rates. Justin Brennan, things you will not see in the San Diego market 2015.
I was going to start doing the whole red flag thing.
Oh, you can do that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
There it is.
I throw on the red flag. Because I don't know what else will not happen, to be honest with you. Everybody said some pretty good stuff. I will have to disagree about the short sales. And here's why. Most people don't know this, but back in 2010-11, when a lot of people did loan mods, whether it's Wells Fargo, B of A, Chase, a lot of the big institutional banks, a lot of the loan mods that went through, they'd give you like a 6-month teaser time frame to kind of get going on and make sure you can make your payments, and then they'd roll you into a 5-year process for the loan modification. And a lot of those loan mods are now coming due. 5 years later, we're now in 2014, 15, and 16. So, I was just talking with one of the VPs of Wells Fargo about a month ago, sitting having lunch with him, and he says a lot of people don't see this coming, but this is a potential for an issue. A lot of these things are resetting. And a lot of people think they're resetting at a fixed rate that's low.
Which is not happening.
But there's terms in their loan documents that actually allow them to reset to the previous high rate, and it now becomes principal and interest. So, like just happened to the broker owner of our office, as her payment was 2.75% on a loan modification. It's now 5.25%. Her payment went from $4,200 to $7,200 a month.
Wow.
And she's working with B of A trying to redo it again. But the issue is they're not going to deal with you unless you're late.
Right.
So a lot of these things are coming due, and a lot of resets are going to happen. I know Wells Fargo has 800,000 loans this is happening to. Some in different ways. Some are going to be better than others, but B of A, Chase, all these it's all coming. So people need to prepare for it. How big it'll be, I have no idea, but it could definitely start a potential short sale issue in the future.
Okay, John, he's swaying me over here. Can you win me back?
Yeah, well, I like the end comment in the future.
Yeah,
I do believe in the future you will see short sales, but I don't believe you will see them this year. The market's too strong.
Too strong. So you think there's been too much appreciation?
Yes, and I believe we're still going to see appreciation over the year.
Okay. All right. Wow, that's a tough one. You know what? I'm not going to have anyone lose a flag over that. I'm just going to call that one neutral because we really don't know what's going to happen. I think there are a lot of what we would call like shadow problems lurking in the loan mod, world. But these are the things we've been hearing about for years, right? There's all these loan mods that are going to reset. There's all this shadow inventory. We've been hearing all these things. Nothing ever happened, But if it is really there and the numbers are true, then it could cause a problem. We just don't know what's real. So I'm not going to have anyone lose any points on that. But you can go ahead. We can go ahead and start back up, though. It was your turn. Things that will not happen in the San Diego real estate market 2015.
Things will not happen this year in the San Diego market. You will not see the millennials get into the marketplace. First-time home buyers will not come back this year.
Okay, millennials won't be there. Wendy.
Okay, great. Staging. You will not see a lot of staging. However, if someone does stage, their house will sell so much faster in such a shorter period of time and likely for more money than a comparative property on the same street.
Why won't you see much staging this year?
I haven't seen a lot of it. I'm originally from San Francisco, spent 12 years selling directly in the city, and everybody stages. There's not a single house that's not staged before coming on market. Down here, I just don't see it, especially out in the East County and so forth. You see it in La Jolla a little bit, of course, but even the places that the sellers can afford it, they don't do it.
All right.
And they're losing money.
Pay attention, sellers. Stage. You're losing money if you don't. John Fleming, things you won't see, 2015 real estate market.
You will not see technology push the real estate agent out of the industry.
Okay. You will not see technology push agents out of the industry. Agree with that. Jason Stewart, things you won't see in 2015's real estate market.
You won't see a huge increase of investors this year. I think that the margins have been a lot slimmer. It's cutting a lot of people out. Even the people getting hard money loans now, some of them can't compete with the people that actually have the cash to buy the properties. I had someone call me today and say they're looking for properties they can buy 70% of market value. I said, you and everyone else, but all of the investors that I know went from 70%. Now they're buying at 85% of market value, and they just have to take a smaller margin. So I feel that there's been that's been pushing a lot of the investors out, and the deals are fewer and further between.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Absolutely. No question points there. You won't see investors when prices are up this much. The investors take their profits and they go wherever they go with their profits.
But they're still out there.
They are out there, and they're looking for deals. There just aren't that many deals.
There's still deals, but not as many.
All right, coming up, we'll find out what the score is, and my favorite segment, Agree or Disagree, right here on the Real Estate Debate, AM 760 KFMB.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon, a Super Bowl Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here, your host. You're listening to the Real Estate Debate on AM 760 KFMB. Quick score update. Jason Stewart from the Stewart Estates team has 2 points. John Fleming from Caldwell Banker West has 2 points. Wendy Vandersteen from the Brennan Real Estate Group has 2 points. And Justin Brennan from the Brennan Real Estate Group has 3 points. So it is anyone's game still. Justin has a slight lead. We'll be starting with Wendy in the second segment. Agree or disagree?
Time now for Agree or Disagree.
Can't we just settle this over the paint?
Agree?
Yes! Yes!
Or disagree?
To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
Let's get it on!
All right, Wendy. What we'll be asking you to do is tell us whether you agree or disagree with a given statement and, of course, defend your position. So the statement today for Agree or Disagree is, in 2015, due to record low interest rates, we will finally see millennials enter the market in droves.
I disagree.
You disagree.
So, Derek, the reason I disagree is, millennials got to watch many of their friends and even parents go through the stock market crash in 2008. And of course, depending on where you live, they experienced it even before 2008, the crash of real estate. And of course, anyone that hadn't crashed yet got it in 2008. So I think that they're taking more time before they want to confine themselves to a commitment as large as a mortgage.
Gotcha.
The other reasons are really because they're staying in school a lot longer, and they're also waiting to get married. They're not getting married as early in their 20s and settling down and buying a place. The other things that we see that millennials are doing currently is they are wanting to be in a city. They want to be able to walk out their front door and go to the bars, the pubs, the restaurants, and the bistros, and even the coffee shops, in the morning, right?
You're nailing me here.
Give her a point on that.
So with that, they want to be in these more expensive areas, okay, metropolitan type of areas. And because the prices, if you were to purchase in that area, are pretty unaffordable for someone that's just getting started in the career or in their career path. So they're renting. They're renting the places where they want to be. They're getting a super cool pad. They're kind of showing off to their friends, and they're walking out their front door and having the lifestyle now. And therefore, they have less money in their savings account to even buy. But why would they want to buy if what they can afford is out in suburbia? So that's the reason I don't believe that millennials will be purchasing in droves this year.
Okay. Wow. Very well done. You made a lot of really good points there. You got me nailed, first of all. I lived in downtown for 4 years, just moved to Del Mar. I'm still a millennial.
I was thinking about calling you before the show just to find out about your habits.
You got me. You did. You got me. I did spend 4 years doing exactly that. So very good job answering that question. John Fleming, agree or disagree? In 2015, due to record low interest rates, we'll finally see millennials enter the market in droves.
I'm leaning towards disagreeing as well. Just because of the word droves. Okay. I do see, I definitely do see more millennials hitting the market. And a few reasons why is you're seeing more first-time home buyers. I think I looked up on Redfin, actually, that 57% of the home tours on Redfin were from first-time home buyers.
Interesting.
That's January we're talking about.
Now you said you're leaning toward disagreeing.
Well, I'm gonna explain why I'm seeing some come in the market, but the reasons why I disagree.
Okay.
So obviously, the first-time home buyers, in my opinion, are in better financial shape now. Just with I know last year I think there was 3 million more jobs created in 2014. I believe, with all the technology, the buyers are a little bit more sophisticated, so they're doing a little bit more research. They're becoming a little bit more excited about, buying a home just by all the stuff that's on the websites. But as far as disagreeing, I guess leaning towards disagreeing. I think you're seeing still an issue with making ends meet. I do. I think there's a large student loan debt.
Okay,
is contributing to that. I think the supply and demand obviously is fueling the fire on the tough competition at the entry level price range, and then of course the strict lending standards, and getting a loan. They're having a tougher time qualifying for a loan, especially with that debt.
Okay, so we're going to call that a disagree then.
Okay.
Leaning to disagree. He disagrees. I
agree to disagree.
Yes, you two agree to disagree so far. I wonder if anyone will agree with this statement. Jason Stewart, you're up next. Do you agree or disagree? In 2015, due to record low interest rates, we'll finally see millennials enter the market in droves.
It's hard to agree when you say droves. I think they are going to trickle in, though. One thing about millennials, these are some facts from CNBC research, is that they are more thrifty. They basically are better at saving money. They save 2 to 3 times as much money as we do, or as older people do. I guess I'm a borderline millennial.
You're a Fin-City millennial.
And they also carry less debt. They carry a third less debt. It seems like their only big indulgence where they don't have way less debt is on cars. They are indulging in buying the cars, but they have less credit card debt. There's a much higher percentage of 20 and 30-somethings that have zero debt. But to say they're coming in droves, I mean, I think if the prices hadn't increased over the last couple of years, that'd be a possibility. But the prices, it didn't go up to where it was, but prices are higher, interest rates are low. So I think they are going to enter the market. There's still some first-time homebuyer programs out there. The mortgage insurance just decreased, which is going to make it, $200 to $300 more affordable, which is going to be huge to get some of these people in there. And interest rates are low. So there's a lot leaning in their favor. So even though prices went up, when you're talking about affordability, you're talking about monthly payment.
Right.
And if you're talking about monthly payment, it's more affordable to buy in most places of San Diego than it is to rent. So,
right. So
I think they are going to come in in half of droves.
I love it.
Mini droves then. Okay. All right. So that's an agrees-ish.
That's a borderline agree.
A borderline agree. All right. Justin Brennan, what do you think?
All right, I disagree. And pretty simply put, it's finances, student loan debt, job security, and then income growth. And that's what's keeping them out of the market. You said CNBC. I have another report from CBS News that just came out at the end of December. And here's some kind of interesting facts on this. 43%, almost 44% of the college-educated millennials ages 24 to 35 own a home, so less than 50%. When asked what would allow you to consider purchasing a home, nearly 70% of them said, I need more income. Nearly 30% said, I need to pay off my student loans. And then nearly 27% said, owning a home, I need to be able to travel and stuff. And like what Wendy was saying, I want to travel, I want to be more mobile and not necessarily be tied down to a mortgage in a certain area. And then, ask further on the economy and the millennials coming in. They said, as the economy is rebounding, this market segment of the millennials is still feeling longer-term effects of the recession. Underemployment, low salaries, combined with high student loan debt, uncertainty about the future and the reality is affecting the housing market. The demand is there. I think we all agree that the demand from the millennials is definitely there. They want to buy a home. It's just, can they financially actually physically do it? And that's the challenge that we're dealing with, and that's why I disagree.
Do they have the stones to pull the trigger? I think they can afford it. Because, I mean, if you think about FHA financing, especially with the mortgage insurance going down, 620 credit scores, 3.5%, you can afford to buy a place. I mean, I think they can. I think they're not doing it because mostly what Wendy said about having seen a real estate collapse, feeling it, having felt the real estate collapse.
They're feeling the recession still.
Yeah, and they're feeling that too. And there's obviously a lot of competition. So from an income perspective, we haven't seen, incomes for college grads really go up. We've seen them kind of go down or stagnate for most job positions, unless you're in the tech business. So there are a bigger percentage of millennials who aren't going to be able to afford to buy what we would call their dream home. And as Wendy also said, they tend to not settle. Millennials tend to go for the whole
You're
thing.
agreeing a lot with Wendy here.
Right? I'm just saying what I think. But it's an interesting situation. Of course, we will find out
Personal experience.
at the end of the year. Yeah, I mean, she pretty much nailed it from what I personally experienced myself. All right, coming up, we will tell you the scores. We will make you smarter than everyone else, and we will play hot or not so hot. This week's local market area, La Jolla, California. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon, a Super Bowl Sunday afternoon, in fact. You listen to the Real Estate Debate on AM 760 KFMB. Mr. Credit here, your host. It's still anyone's game. Quick score update. Jason Stewart has 5 points. John Fleming has 4 points. Wendy Vanderstein has 6 points, and Justin Brennan has 5 points. So, Wendy, you are now in the lead with 6. Jason and Justin
Wendy has taken the lead.
Close second with 5. And John, you have 4. But the good news, John, you get to start off this segment, which is hot or not so hot. This week's local market area is La Jolla, California. Each contestant will tell us why they think this particular market is hot or not so hot and explain. So, John, what do you think? La Jolla, hot or not so hot, that market?
Well, hot or not, I mean, every time I've been in La Jolla, it hasn't been hot at all, actually. It's actually, the weather's been perfect.
Chilly?
Yeah, no. No, the La Jolla market is not my specialty, but I looked up some statistics on the 10K deal on the Sandy Corp site, and it all leads to a hot market. I mean, units sold in La Jolla are up 15.3% in 2014. Median price is up 14.7% from January to December in 2014.
Wow.
These are two statistics, in my opinion, that are moving towards a hot market. I know month's supply of inventory has dropped slightly, which obviously supply and demand, that's a great thing. But I'll probably pass it on to the experts that deal with the coastal, since that's not my area.
Not your specialty, but you brought up some pretty good points.
Yeah.
Frankly, yeah, I mean, if we have more sales, higher prices.
Was it the weather or
decreasing inventory? I'm sure you'll get something for that. All right, John, appreciate that. Jason Stewart, La Jolla, California, hot or not so hot, this market?
La Jolla, California. Well, first I'll go over some stats. I mean, it's La Jolla is an area that you say most of San Diego is a seller's market. I'd say La Jolla might be leaning towards kind of a buyer's market. The median list price over there is about 1.6 million, but the median sales price is 1.15. So people aren't usually getting what they list. There's not a lot of foreclosures over there, which is good. It's about one home per every 20,000 is facing foreclosure versus versus about 3.5 per 10,000 for everywhere else in San Diego.
So when you say, so does that mean you think it's a hot market or not so hot if it's a buyer's market?
To say a market's hot or not, it kind of depends on what side you're on. But if you're talking about if there's going to be a lot of activity coming up as far as a lot of sales being made, I'd have to say not hot. I say there's going to be about a 3% increase in values. I don't think there's going to be a lot more transactions done. Over the last year or two, it was an increase of about 8%. So, yeah, I wouldn't say it's a hot market. I love La Jolla. It's one of my favorite places in San Diego. I spend a lot of time there. But La Jolla is a place where if you want to invest, you're not going to see as good of returns as the lower income areas. You're just not. If you want to invest, it's South Bay, it's Central San Diego, it's East County has some good deals. La Jolla is the trophy home spot. It's for, it's a small percentage of people, and the luxury home market just isn't quite on fire. And I don't think it's going to be this year.
So he says not so hot.
I'm going to say not so hot.
Wow. Jason Stewart comes in. He says La Jolla is not so hot. This is going to be interesting. Justin Brennan, La Jolla, California, hot or not so hot?
And Wendy, La Jolla. Yeah, obviously this is the market we deal in 90% of the time. It's not hot. I know you're going to be surprised for me to say that.
I am surprised.
The reason why is it is becoming more of a buyer's market as prices have appreciated since 2012 and 13. Right, it was when the big jump ups took place, and then last year, obviously, we had some price appreciation. It's getting to a point to where, of course, sellers feel that their home is worth, X plus, so they're pricing it to the moon, and buyers are being more aggressive, and they're definitely coming in I wouldn't say lowballing it, but coming into the market. And so you have this kind of stalemate going on in the market right now, where sellers don't want to reduce, buyers don't want to come up because they think the market's here. And we're going to kind of be sitting there with, the deals that are going to get done or deals that sellers need to sell and buyers need to buy.
So there's a distance between the bid and the ask here.
Right now, it's happening in the market in La Jolla. Yes.
Wow.
I agree with that.
That's really interesting. That would make it not so hot. Mm-hmm. Wendy, do you agree with Justin?
Okay, I agree with the affordability. So I believe we're at about 22% affordability. And really, when you hit 20% affordability, you're going to be in a buyer's market.
Okay.
So I agree with that. Now, there is an area in La Jolla that I think is hot.
Ooh.
It's one little section, and it's my favorite section. Okay. It's called La Jolla Mesa. So if you're driving up La Jolla Mesa, it's a very busy street. But you just go to the east of it, and it's a little part of the canyon. There's very few homes, very few streets in that area. And my favorite part is that this gets the sun. It's facing south on the slope of Mount Soledad, but it's not over on the side where there's all those developments, okay? These are custom homes, and many of them were built in the 50s, okay? So a lot of them are due to be updated, maybe even torn down and rebuilt a much larger home or a much larger home in that space. Now, what's great about this hill is that almost every house on that hill has a view of not only downtown San Diego, but they also have Mission Bay, which is amazing at night. You're not looking out at an ocean with no lights at night, okay? So you've got an ocean, you've got part of the ocean at Ocean Beach, Mission Beach, Pacific Beach, and so you can see the waves and so forth, but you have this amazing view at night. And I love the city. I come from San Francisco. I'm so used to seeing city lights. So I love that view. Now, I also love the sunshine. I also love that this neighborhood has no telephone poles. My biggest pet peeve is a telephone pole. If there's a telephone pole on the property or something that you look out at, I would advise you not to buy the property or have the poles removed. It costs about $99,000 to have each pole removed, okay? I've looked into it.
You can do that?
Oh, yes, you can. So
well, you
anyhow, you
money,
usually have to do
Get
about 5 because they include your neighbors and all of that. So anyhow, this is for many reasons. This area is very hot. Why? Because there's upside. You can still purchase a home for about 1.5 to 1.8 if it needs to be updated and so forth. And over the last, 16, 18 months, we've had several houses in this area that have far exceeded the normal range. they have ranged in the $3 million to $6.4 million range, which is not normal for this area. It would be kind of normal for the country club area or the Muirlands or La Jolla Shores or what have you. But this area is really up and coming, and a lot of people don't know about it. But they will now that I've mentioned all the awesome aspects.
Can I throw in the challenge flag to my partner?
All right, challenge me, Justin.
Justin Britton has just challenged his partner.
Is La Jolla not a neighborhood? Is La Jolla hot or not? And the answer is, in my opinion, based upon what we're seeing in the market, it's not. There are opportunities, and every opportunity you mentioned was from a buyer's perspective. Meaning I can get into the market as a buyer, get a great deal on a house, and then as a seller on the upside, I can get the value. But going in the market, it's definitely, we're in a stalemate, and that's kind of, you're seeing it happen because sellers obviously are in the luxury market. 40% of the sales in La Jolla are cash. You get a lot of Chinese money coming in, but a lot of stuff's being aggressive, and sellers aren't willing to budge right now, so stuff's kind of sitting. And that's kind of the market we're dealing with right now in La Jolla. But deals will get done when sellers really have to sell and buyers really have to buy.
Wendy?
All right. Well, first problem with things sitting on the market is agents are not pricing their properties correctly. They're listening to the sellers and pricing them where the sellers want to price them. So that's one of the big issues, which comes up with your stat, Jason, that you pulled off of CNBC. That stat is directly reflective of the higher priced properties and of agents wanting to get a listing and actually telling the seller what they want to hear. So, in my opinion, yeah, we actually went through that. As you can tell, my passion. Anyways, I do believe that it is it's moving towards a really stable market and almost to a buyer's market, as I stated those quotes and affordability at the beginning. So I would say that it's not so hot, but because there's no inventory in the little area called La Jolla Mesa, there's like literally only one house on the market right now, and the inventory is so low, and one of them just sold at the beginning of the year, just closed just a week ago. That was also done in our office.
So you agree with them? You agree with them? It's not so hot.
I do agree.
Did you know that she agreed with you?
I just found this out.
But she's saying there is a hot spot.
There's a hot spot.
She's turning a negative into a positive.
But the whole overall market, I would have to give that one to
She's finding the good news within the bad news.
She did say it's not so hot, but then she said, hey, there's this one little spot to check out. So I'm going to have to give that one to you, Wendy.
Thank you.
Now, here's one thing I wanted to ask you guys while we're in La Jolla real quick. Of course, when we come back, we'll be doing listing of the week. But there's the road that you take to get into La Jolla. Is it La Jolla Parkway or something? Okay.
Yes.
So there's these houses built along this main road that look like they're expensive to me. There is a ton of traffic flowing through these houses by these houses. It's kind of like in Del Mar Heights Road. Same thing. Really nice houses, $1 million houses, tons of traffic. When does that become a problem for the real estate market? When there's nonstop traffic, even at night, on these main roads in these high end areas.
To me first?
Yeah.
It's all about price point, right? Because that's an economic obsolescence is what they call that, right? Something exterior to the property affects its value that the seller has no control over. So as long as it's priced appropriately, right? Because the buyer's going to take that into consideration when buying the home, and they're going to adjust appropriately. So if it's priced appropriately, there's one on Ardith Road that sat. The seller finally got to the point they sold it like right around $1 million. It was priced at $1.2 million. Boom, sold, done. Way it went.
Okay, all right. It all boils down to price when it comes down to moving a house. All right, coming up, we're going to get our in-studio experts' favorite listing of the week. You're listening to Real Estate Debate on AM 760 KFMB. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Super Bowl Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here, your host. You're listening to the Real Estate Debate on AM 760 KFMB. Today, not only is the Golden Microphone Trophy up for grabs and the title Smartest Person in San Diego Real Estate for the next 7 days, but we also have the very last AM 760 KFMB coffee mug in the building. The last new one. The last new one.
That's big time.
Unused is also part of the prize pack. We also have a $250 gift certificate to Sidebar in downtown. So there's a lot on the line right now. Now it's time for the win. It is time for listing of the week. This is where you're going to tell us about your favorite listing. Could be one that's on the market. Could be one that's not on the market yet. Could be your listing. Could not be your listing. But your favorite listing of the week, Jason Stewart, we're going to be starting with you.
11482 Alps Way, Escondido. One of the coolest listings in the world. This property was bought by a religious group who was a branch of Christianity who believed that the corporate America they were kind of anti-corporate. They didn't believe in the big government. And they lived off of the land. This is an 8-acre property. At one point, there was almost 40 people living on this property. Okay? It's a huge, beautiful home.
Groves.
You think it might be run down. No, this is a beautiful, completely upgraded home, high ceilings. It has 5,457 square feet, and that does not include the extra structures. So it had extra garage space that was turned into 2 bedrooms. There is a cottage that was built. It's 2 beds in the cottage, not including the square footage. A rustic cabin that could sleep over 4 or 5 people. There is a pool house where people had lived at one point. Out of the 8 acres, if you think, oh, that's a lot of land to keep up, well, there's only half of it is developed, half of it is still wild. So you get the best of both worlds. This property, you could actually look at it at EscondidoFilmLocation.com, because if you wanted to make extra money and you didn't want to rent out every single room in the property, you could actually make extra money by using this property as a film location. It has been featured on several TV shows, including some kid shows. And it's got high ceilings, high doors. It's got a saltwater pool and jacuzzi. Cool. It has a huge deck. It also has above the deck a huge tiki bar area. Okay, the deck has a refrigerator on it. It has a fireplace. There is every kind of fruit tree you can imagine. So if you live there, you never have to go shopping for fruits and vegetables. Everything is there. You've got nectarine, organic garden, apples, oranges, nectarine, mangoes, everything you can imagine, tomatoes. So this property...
And it's in Escondido.
It's in Escondido, yes.
And what's the price point on this property?
That's the other great part. Not only does it have the lion fountain, it has a koi pond, waterfalls, everything you can imagine, beautiful views. But if you look this thing up on Zillow, it's going to say $1.5 million plus. Any of those type of where they guess the price of the home. They have it listed super reasonable, $850,000 to $1.1 million.
So
you're not going to beat it.
Wow. So Jason, if someone wants to find out more about this property, how would they get in touch with you?
Jason Stewart, STEWART.org, O-R-G, or call me or text me, 619-279-0213, 279-0213. And if you're listening and you just want to take a peek at some cool pictures, EscondidoFilmLocation.com, and I have an amazing virtual tour where I had a helicopter go over the property, get real close, get high up so you could see all of the land. It goes through all of the rooms. Amazing.
Awesome. Great listing, man. That sounds really, really cool. Wow, that's a way to kick off listing of the week. Yeah. Justin Brennan, your favorite listing.
It's a way to kick it off. All right. Everybody close their eyes. Seriously, close your eyes. If you're driving in your car, close your eyes. Just kidding.
Do not do that.
Just kidding. All right, I'm going to tell you about a home. $15.5 million. It's coming on the market in a month. It's co-listed with myself and Madison Hildebrand from $1 Million Listing. Close your eyes. Nobody's closing their eyes. So I want you to imagine driving up to 7400 Hillside Drive. It's 3 acres, iconic property on the side of La Jolla. You will not find another property like this in the world. You go through your big Sterling gates. You're now driving on the longest driveway in La Jolla. It's a 1/4 mile. And you're pulling up through your private compound. You're pulling past the most expensive tennis court on the face of the planet. Looks like Wimbledon. You pull right back into the front terrace of the home, into the foyer. You get out, you walk through these amazing doors, opens up into basically a 270-degree ocean view all the way from the Cove up to Torrey Pines. You can probably see Santa Monica if you really wanted to. Unbelievable property. Famous architect Willie Cunningham, built in 1988. Modern style home, 10,000 square feet.
Wow.
5 bedrooms, 7 baths, pool house, infinity edge pool. I mean, you name it, the home's got it. Drop a helicopter on the house if you want. I don't care. Do anything you want. Shoot fireworks off the back of it. Doesn't matter. So coming on the market, not on the market yet. Give us a call. It's going to be going global 619-823-2120.
Wow. Are you gonna be holding an open house or like a party at that place? Because I would love to check that out.
We will be doing a private event at the home.
Let us know. If someone wants to go to that private event, what number do they call?
619-823. You can open your eyes if you're in the car now. Just kidding. That's the listing coming up, so it'll be incredible.
619-823-2120. 2120. Okay. Wendy, it's time for your favorite listing of the week.
Excellent. Well, this one is in Encinitas, and it is west of the 5, which is very difficult in that little area and that little strip to find a house sort of west of the 5. It's unusual when they do pop up. So if they do pop up, you want to jump on them right away.
Absolutely.
And this one was built in 2007. Now, the gentleman who built it, he built it for his family. And what's unique about it is they have a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home. In addition, they have built a 1-bedroom, 1-bath additional structure. And it's completely separated. The unit that is 1-bedroom, 1-bath, you enter from the front of the house. And then the actual single-family home, you enter through sort of the side of the house, and you go down this long driveway, and it leads to a beautiful grassy backyard. What's unique is that this particular family built it for themselves so that they could also have a rental and have a little extra money to help pay off the mortgage. So they lived in the single family house portion of it for many years. They're selling it now. They've got a tenant in there now. They just moved down about a year ago. So they have a tenant in the single family house area and another tenant in the front. Now, the rent that they get for the front of the house is $1,500. That's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. The back rents for $3,700. So whether you're looking, so this is a total of, let me see, it's, 3,700. No, 37, let me see here. They get, $3,700 for the single family home in the back and $1,700 for the front. Okay. So they get $5,200 on a monthly basis. So what's great about this is, with a simple legal letter, you can get the tenants out pretty quickly. They're on a month to month. If you're looking for a place, single family home, but maybe it's just a little bit above your price range, you can take into account the rent that you're going to bring in from the 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Or it would be great if you've got family members or visitors that often want to come down to Encinitas. Why wouldn't they, right? And you could actually offer your 1-bedroom, 1-bath separate unit to them. So the list price is $1,175,000.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a great deal. And when you look at what the rent is, if you were to rent it out on a weekly basis and look at the season that, the beach season, the summer season, and even incorporate some of the racetrack season, you'll have at least 13 weeks, and you can really rent it for about $5,200 a week. Okay. So it more than covers your taxes, your mortgage, your insurance, your principal and interest, property taxes and insurance on the property, and then you'll also be cash flowing.
Wow.
So I love that aspect. Now, here's another little piece. You can walk to the restaurants and bistros. I love places that you can walk to sort of the downtown. You don't have to get in your car. You can also walk to the beach, which is really great. The other part is the racetrack season. They just added another season. Actually, Justin and I went to a big Riviera
Crosby
party there. So in November, they've got the Bing Crosby, and then the following year, they're going to be, the droves of people are coming for the races. They're speaking about introducing a March season. Therefore, you'd be able to rent it out even more frequently when they do add those race seasons.
Wendy, I don't mean to cut you off, but just for time reasons, I want you to go ahead and give your phone number out, because this is a great property, good investment opportunity, and really a good home for anyone. You want to live west of the 5 in Encinitas, under 1.2 with all that. That sounds really awesome. So how could someone get a hold of you?
Sure. Wendy Vanderstein, 858-888-2465.
Okay, great. Thanks, Wendy. John Fleming, your listing of the week. You get to close this out, man.
Yeah, we went to Escondido. That was right, Escondido. We went down the coast, and now we're going down into Chula Vista.
All right.
I'm pitching a new listing coming up, and it's located in a very desirable neighborhood called Rolling Hills Ranch out there in Chula Vista. The neighborhood's desirable because it was, they're newer homes. There's no Melloreos, low HOAs. It's suburbia out there. You have the great parks, the great pools, the clubhouses, and then outstanding schools as well. In my opinion, bang for the buck. I mean, I'm listing this property at $950,000. It's built in 2006, 2-story. It's 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, and it's 4,271 square feet. It's parched up on a small cul-de-sac that sits up on a hill, so it actually has great views of the mountains. It looks out east, but there's a lake out there as well, so you have views of the lake and the mountains out there. In the backyard, it features a outdoor barbecue area with a pool that has a swim-up bar. I'm in entertaining, so this house is like ideal for me. But it has a swim-up bar. When you walk inside, it's got a great open floor plan. It's got 4 bedrooms upstairs, including a huge loft, almost like another family room upstairs. The master bedroom is gigantic with a deck looking out at the lake. It's huge. Downstairs, the gourmet kitchen has all that you would expect in a house this size. Of course, stainless steel appliances, granite countertops, and a huge island. That anybody that was cooking, I don't cook, but if anybody was cooking in there, they would love it. My favorite part of the property itself is actually a large walk-in bar right off the dining room. Obviously, that fits into my entertaining
going right back
ideas.
So, John, you got a $950,000 property in Rolling Hills Ranch down in Jolla. This is an awesome neighborhood, perched on a hill. How could someone get a hold of you if they wanted to find out more information?
Yes, it's John Fleming. I work with Coldwell Banker West, and it's 619-370-4505.
All right, man, a bunch of great listings. All right, Tanya, this is where I'm looking to you. You got to tell me who has won the real estate debate today.
Really?
Justin Brennan.
I didn't think I won, but all right.
Win.
Little sound effects and everything, too.
Justin Brennan, you have won the real estate debate. Are you going to Disneyland or what, man?
I'm going to Disney World.
All right, have a great Super Bowl Sunday. Stick around for more Talking Money and Mr. C coming up right here on AM 760 KFMB. I'll second that.